안녕하세요, hello everyone, Assalamualaikum, it's Jantul Naim and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This video is going to be really interesting because I'm taking part in a really cool and interesting event, and the event and the contest name is Korean Cultural Global Review Contest, and this contest is really interesting and really cool, and the first prize is really attractive because the first prize is a trip to Korea. And besides that, this contest will really help you to know more about Korean culture and Korean thingy, and I'm really glad to take part in this contest. And it's really easy to take part in this contest. They will provide you 5 books and you need to select one of them. After selecting the books, you need to read through the books and you need to feel the character about that books. And there is 2 options to take part. One is writing a report over the story or making a film over the story. So I select film making over writing because I think film making is more like me, because it's really helped me to express more about the story and it helped me to express more about me. And I really like to vlog or like to really record videos, and I think it's really helped me to connect with more people in social media. So I'm really glad to take part. The books that I select is really interesting, and one of my favorite books, its name is Kim Ji-yeon Born in 1982, wrote by Cho Nam-ju. And this book is one of my favorite books, and it's really help you to know more about Korean culture, as well as you can know more about narrow-minded Asian society back then, and the women who born around 19 or something, the ordinary life they lead. And as an Asian woman also, I really faced those kind of an incidents when I was a kid, but I didn't really feel that way when I was growing up, because everything in 20th century, a lot of things are changed, but like my grandmom, my mom really faced those kind of things, so I really kind of connect with it. And I'm really surprised that after this book is released, it translated into Japanese, and many Japanese women also connected with these books, and after that it's also translated to English, and I'm really glad that I can learn about that books. And also I'm learning Korean right now, so I'm really willing to read this book again in Korean language too. So I'm going to review the story of Kim Ji-yeon Born in 1982. The whole story I'm going to review it, so I hope you're going to stick around till the end. And furthermore, let's get started. I'm going to tell you the story about Kim Ji-yeon Born in 1982, wrote by Cho Nam-ju, and I'm really glad to know about that. Cho Nam-ju, she not really focused on really specific event of Kim Ji-yeon's story. Writer really wrote the whole story through Kim Ji-yeon's lifetime, from her childhood to adulthood to her marriage, and you're going to find some chapter before starting the story. The story began with 2015 in autumn, and that time Kim Ji-yeon was around 34 in age. She was a really hectic housewife with a loving husband called Dae-hyun, and Kim Ji-yeon and Dae-won have a really lovely daughter, but Dae-hyun really realized that it's really hard for Kim Ji-yeon to be a wife and a mother at the really same time. And the most hard time that Kim Ji-yeon facing for her irritating in-laws, not in-laws, the most specific irritating character that you're going to face is Dae-hyun mother. And Dae-hyun mother never treat Kim Ji-yeon as the wife of her son, but mostly she treat her as a helper in the house. In 2015 in autumn, there was happening Thanksgiving ceremony in Korea. Thanksgiving event is a culture event of Korean families, and in this event, Kim Ji-yeon and her husband, also their daughter, go to their in-laws, like Dae-hyun's sides. Kim Ji-yeon need to cook all the food for their in-laws. She was cooking all the food for her in-laws, and she was really having a hard time that time, but most of the time, the mother of Dae-hyun keep praising her son and just complaining about their daughter-in-law, how lazy she was, and those kind of stuff, which really hurt Kim Ji-yeon feelings a lot. Really very moment, Kim Ji-yeon start to speak in a different voices, and it feel like she got possessed. She keep saying that don't treat your daughter-in-law in that way, and she start to use Pammar, means casual sentences, to her in-laws, which makes Dae-hyun mother really furious and make all the event in blue. After that incident, Daehyun take Kim Jiyeon and her daughter to Kim Jiyeon family, so Kim Jiyeon have a really good sleep in their place. And Daehyun really realized there's something really happening to Kim Jiyeon. At first, Daehyun thought that she was just kidding around with different voices and she was kidding, but it doesn't take Daehyun too long to realize that something is really happening to Kim Jiyeon. After reaching the place of Kim Jiyeon's mother house, Kim Jiyeon was taking a nap. Daehyun really realized that Kim Jiyeon need a psychiatrist. After that incident, when Jiyeon come to her place and Daehyun told Kim Jiyeon to see a psychiatrist, but doesn't remember anything about the incident, and she asking Daehyun why he told her to see a psychiatrist. Kim Jiyeon always feel burdened as a housewife, and she start to remember how good she was when she was a career woman, but she also faced a lot of trouble as a career woman because that time women doesn't get promotion like male stuff. But in her company, when she started to work after her graduation, chief of the company was a woman, and she really admired Kim Jiyeon, how much she hard work about and how much dedication she show in her job. And Kim Jiyeon always dreamed to become just like Chief, started missing the life of as a career woman. After that day, Kim Jiyeon meet a really ex-colleague, and they was having a conversation how they are working, and her ex-colleague said that the Chief that she really admired that time, the Chief leave the oldest company and start a new company, and she told Kim Jiyeon to join the Chief company so that she can also start the career woman that she really desire on. And after getting that news, Kim Jiyeon started to think about it, and she shared this thing with Daehyun. But that time Daehyun was already really worried about Kim Jiyeon, that how differently she behaved. So Daehyun got really angry that time, and he started to shout on Kim Jiyeon. And that time was really a strange thing happened. Kim Jiyeon started to speak a really different voice and keep saying Daehyun to treat Kim Jiyeon well. After that incident, Jiyeon doesn't remember anything, and after that day, Jiyeon meet her chief that day, and the chief really glad to meet Jiyeon again. And the chief was sharing there is an incident in the company, find a camera in woman toilet, which is a really serious sexual crime. And the chief was sharing that thing, the story with Kim Jiyeon, and Kim Jiyeon started to remember a really very sexual harassment that she faced in her high school. Kim Jiyeon still remember the sexual harassment that she faced during her high school. It was really normal day, and she was going back to her home from school. It was around the evening, and she was waiting for the bus. But at the very moment, a boy appeared and in the same uniform of her school, and he started to speak with Kim Jiyeon. But Kim Jiyeon doesn't remember his face or his name, and she doesn't know even the boy is in the same class of her. And the boy started to speak in a really casual way and getting really close with Kim Jiyeon, and Kim Jiyeon wasn't in this world. She really feel uncomfortable, and she started worried that if she take the bus and the boy is also follow her into her home, so she was really scared that time, and she was waiting to leave the bus, then she going to get up in the bus. But when she get up on the bus, she find that the boy also get up in the same bus, and she was really worried about that. So she was really panicked at that time, and she called her father to pick her on the bus stop. But his father doesn't receive the call. When Kim Jiyeon get off from the bus, the boy also get off from the bus, and the boy start to really speak in the casual way. This makes Kim Jiyeon really uncomfortable. But after the boy realizing that Kim Jiyeon's father also appeared in that time, so the boy leave, saying a lot of cruel words to Kim Jiyeon. And after meeting Kim Jiyeon's father, Kim Jiyeon shared the story to her father, but her father that night doesn't take side of her daughter. She keep blaming on Kim Jiyeon that he to dress properly and that night Kim Ji-yeon's father didn't take the side of Kim Ji-yeon. It was the story of Kim Ji-yeon in high school. And after remember the story, after that day, it was Kim Ji-yeon's mother birthday, so she just normally visit her mother home, and she take her daughter with her, just like playing with her daughter, and she fall asleep, and she remember an incident about her mother, that her mother also sacrificed her dream. Her mother want to become a teacher, but that time their family was facing a lot of crisis, so her mother really give up on her dream and become a trainer to help the study of their brother. When her brother getting the degree, she just have to give up on her dream, the family financially. After remember the incident, Kim Ji-yeon keep feeling that she also in the same loop like her mother. She also have to become a headache housewife as well as a mother. She have to leave the career that she really dream of. She need to give up all the dream that she really want to. So after that incident, she really want to get back in the career life that she used to have, and she shared this thing with her husband Taehyun, and Taehyun suddenly agreed about that Jiyeon really need to start a career life, and Jiyeon was really happy after hearing that Taehyun really supported, because Jiyeon just want to see the smiling face of Kim Jiyeon. So Jiyeon was really happy, and she celebrate exactly the same way when after her graduation she studied humanities. So after her graduation she celebrate the same way with her family members, so she also celebrated in the same way with Taehyun, and Taehyun was really happy to seeing the happy face of Kim Ji-yeon. So she started to look for a babysitter, but she couldn't find one. After some days, Taehyun offered himself to take care of the baby so Kim Ji-yeon can work again. Kim Ji-yeon was really flattered with this, and she was really happy to take the hand of Taehyun. After hearing the news that Taehyun started to take care of the baby, Taehyun's mother really get frustrated, and she called Kim Ji-yeon. She called Ji-yeon and started to blame her that you aren't a really good housewife, you aren't a really good wife, why you act like that, why you are destroying the career life of Taehyun. She started to blame Ji-yeon, and Ji-yeon was really frustrated. And after like talking with Ji-yeon, she also called Ji-yeon's mother and blamed her as well. Then after that, Ji-yeon's mother got really frustrated, and she came to Ji-yeon's place, and she said to Ji-yeon that I'm going to take care of the baby, I'm going to babysit your baby, and you can start working. There is nothing that can stop you. And at that very moment, Ji-yeon start to talk in a different voice, and that time her late grandma and her mom that you work a lot, you sacrifice your whole life for your brother, and your daughter Ji-yeon also do the same thing for her family, and you teach that thing to your daughter. When mother realized how much pressure Ji-yeon was facing, she warmly hugged her and burst in tears. Ji-yeon really need a psychiatrist. Taehyun suddenly show a video of Kim Ji-yeon that she speak in a really different voice, and she realized that she need time to focus on her, because all that time she was shadowing by her husband, by her loss, and she keep blaming herself to not being a good mother or not being a good wife. She keep blaming her life. After realizing that it's not her fault, she speak that thing with the psychiatrist, and she realized that it's not her fault, and she takes some time to really know about herself and just to love herself. After that, she focusing on writing, and she started to communicate more with her mother, and she wrote her whole story. After wrote the whole story, the story was published as Kim Ji-yeon born in 1982, and that's the story of Kim Ji-yeon's life.